Welcome to That Comic Smell podcast. With your hosts,
David Robertson,
Fernando Pons,
Giuseppe Labertino,
Mike Sadakat,
and Tom Stewart. Hello there, and thank you for listening to another episode of That Comic Smell podcast. Before we fire into the episode, we have our recommendation for another brilliant comics podcast for you to listen to.
welcome from the Lakes International Comic Art Festival podcast. My name's Ian.
And I'm Nikki.
And our podcast is all about, surprise, surprise, comics.
We interview big and upcoming names from the comic world.
We also review the latest in comics, graphic novels, and comic-based films.
We also chat about what we've seen, what we've enjoyed, and what we're playing in our pop culture section.
So listen to us, you'd be mad not to, at comicartpodcast.uk.
Or on all your usual podcast players.
And find us on Twitter at Comic Art Fest Pod.
Hope you enjoyed that. Go nip across to the Comic Arts Festival podcast and give them a listen. Give them a wee like, a subscribe. They're great folks and an absolutely stellar podcast. Now, on with the show.
there is something in it.
It's like a sweet smell.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like candy floss, like kind of burnt sugar.
Yeah. Are we
I
right
mean,
to eat
sugary-
candy floss flavoured grapes?
Possibly.
God, it's candy floss flavoured grapes.
You shitting me?
No, I'm not. Absolutely is.
It's very Tesco's.
Interesting.
There's like a sweet...
Thing is, have you ever read that book, Fast Food Nation? And they talk about how the flavour thing.
Yeah.
And like they've just got absolute shit meat, and then they've got these wee things they just put on it, and then that
Glutamate.
gives it all the flavour.
Glutamate.
Glutamate, yeah. So instead of using the grape one on these, they've used the candy
There is a
floss.
burst. It tastes like grapes after a while, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there is a burst. You're right.
It's not unpleasant.
No, not at all.
Hello.
Right, so yes.
Alright, aye.
Looking cool, man. I love that look with
The
those
shades. And the space saucer.
glasses. Yeah, you look like an astronaut from outer space.
If only.
Well, I'm definitely a space cadet, yeah.
What have
give
you
it
been
that.
doing, Giuseppe? What?
Alright, it's leftover tiramisu
Oh, you're kidding. You've got to be joking.
that I made, yeah.
What a treat. Oh, what?
5 layers. First time I've done a 5-layer.
You're bloody handy, are you?
It's
Oh, man.
pretty much the only dessert I know I make. That and rhubarb crumble.
The
Right,
seeds.
no problem.
Yeah. The seeds of
The seeds of love.
the seeds of what? The seeds of
The seats.
discontent.
Thank you.
The
Thank you very
seeds of discontent. I don't know, what are the seeds? The seeds.
It's the. You look at the back.
Oh yeah, the proverb, yeah. I did really like that proverb. That's a really...
But it's not Mexican. The proverb.
Is it Spanish?
No, it's actually Greek.
Did you look it up?
Is a poet from Greece, and in the 1970s did a poem, and he had the sentence.
Is that some artistic license then to fit in?
No,
with that story?
just wait, because there's a long story about this, because he says something like, and they beat me, but they didn't know I was a seed. So that was what he said originally, and it has been
Right.
taken and used in a lot of activism,
Ah, okay.
socially, protests,
I can imagine, yeah.
and it has become that. And in Mexico, they did that version like that in Spanish.
So
and
what's
then-
the difference from singular to plural?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. But the original is a Greek poet in the 1970s, I think.
It's great.
A poet in Greece that then the government years later they want to give him an award and a prize, and he said, I don't want the award, I don't want the prize, and I don't come to pick it up because I am no better than other people, and I don't want to receive this award. And then the people look at me, up at me.
Fucking hell, he sounds like a very rare man of integrity.
So kudos to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to him.
Tried to buy us, they didn't know we were seeds. It's good. I like it.
Well, that's a good start to
Yeah.
to the seeds, isn't it?
Yeah. Do we talk about it, or shall we do
No, just
and Alpha
crack on.
first? Or
Get stuck in.
No, get stuck into the seeds, definitely. Because
Seeing as we're on it, because
what
we're
we're waiting for.
we're just talking
That's
about
fine.
It's definitely what we're waiting
Seeds issue 1.
Been waiting a good long while since the Berger Books announcements came out of what ones, and the seeds was the sort of last one to get announced. And God, that was what, this time last year? Or
Yeah. That was when. Well, you mentioned it first.
Yeah.
The announcement of it.
When was it? When we were speaking about Vertigo?
Yeah.
Could be.
God, that was ages ago.
Could be.
That was when
Because we
Alan,
mentioned
Alan was
mentioned
first up.
Karen Berger, and then
Yeah.
and they said, by the way,
Yeah,
There
she's
was a
the
comment
Berger
of
Books, yeah. Yeah, was that? Yeah, so it was Vertigo, so it was when Alan was first up, when he came for his first visit.
so it must be a year or more than a year.
More than a year, because he came up at like kind of the start of the summer last year.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
So we've been waiting
were
since
you
then.
looking forward to it because it'd been like branded as a reboot of, well, not a reboot of Vertigo, but trying to harken back to early Vertigo?
No, I was interested
Oh.
to see what came out of a sort of Karen Berger pushed publishing side from Dark Horse, to be honest, because she'd been so prolific with Vertigo, and she'd been kind of the face of those books. It was kind of
Well, yeah, she was.
I did want to see what
She was Vertigo before Vertigo existed.
existed. Yeah,
They would just call it, it was a Karen Berger book.
so
And then they give it to her to edit, and then she would be kind of doing the editorial part of it, until the actual line of Vertigo, because they started to be quite successful. Those
Funny you
books,
so
and
she was she was the editor.
she was an editor in DC
An editor, right. But what
before Vertigo existed,
okay.
and then
she basically.
Funny you mentioned the editor, because come back to Nocenti.
yes, she was an editor
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
No, not her. To do with the Daredevil from the run that you said I probably liked, I think.
It was just being on the back of that issue that you'd read. With
Yeah.
Cap in it, yeah.
I come to realise that the editor through that run of hers in Daredevil was very important as to the output and why it was actually really good.
Oh, okay.
Which I hadn't really realised up until this point, how important the editor and the editor-in-chief were.
Yeah.
You know, in my mind, simplistically, it's probably just some guy that signs it off.
Yeah.
Whereas,
It depends. It really just depends on
yeah,
who it is.
these guys were more hands-on with but anyway, I'll get to that when it Daredevil. But yeah, sorry.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was that more than anything. With
And then when you mentioned that it was going to be Nocenti and David Aja,
Mhm.
which I'm a big fan of David Aja. He's a great guy as well.
Yeah.
We met personally.
yep,
One of the
I
conversations
think,
in Glasgow.
Glasgow Con, yeah.
And
The editor is-
Nocenti, which is
yeah,
a
the
writer
one
I
that
haven't
I'm
read the stuff from
thinking
her
of, yeah.
for many years. I know she's done other stuff, but I do remember her from Longshot and from the Daredevil run. I remember from that,
Yeah. No, it was.
and I still have the comics. And
It was actually it was you that brought me to Nocenti with that, or Nocenti with that that Daredevil with Cap in it, because I'd never really delved into her at all.
So was this a Daredevil that that you were giving away
Yes.
and I read?
Yes.
And then the next time I came, I said to you, "Oh,
Yeah.
it was refreshing to read that."
Yes.
Ah, right.
And then from the back of that, I just kind of did a wee bit of online
Oh,
searching.
right.
I've still not read a lot of her work to say that I really know anything.
I haven't either. That's why
Yeah.
this was like
Yeah.
timely for you to.
But at the same point, from what I'd seen from what you showed me and what I read about her, she was extremely interesting. Extremely interesting.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see what she was doing. But David Ahad's my favourite artist.
I've brought along a few of her comics from the 80s.
Okay.
Just to go over.
Well, yeah, that's what I was on about, that Macho guy, and
Yeah, Ralph Macchio.
the other guy was that Tom DeFalco.
Oh, yeah.
You see,
Big guys at Marvel.
I was watching someone who made a really good video about Marvel when it was good, before it went downhill, and currently is in a kind of a political correct maelstrom of suicide, personally, I think, and it's fucking tanking to fuck. But back then, you see, she was writing.
She was.
See, she's of a certain political outlook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't necessarily always agree with. Parts of what I think would, but parts, I don't say that I'm of that side or the other side. I'm of no side, that's the thing. But this guy was making a good point in his video that she wrote really good stuff back then and was able to, even though she was of a very certain extreme kind of side of the political spectrum, but she was kept in check by the editor and the editor-in-chief, who made sure that it was balanced. Whereas now, it ain't balanced. No. Now it's gone a certain way.
They get to,
so that's why that writing was that good. Gone about like politics not being in comics and stuff before, but it was.
Oh, yeah.
It really was, but it was done in a really good way.
Yeah.
That's the difference to it now.
Yeah.
In the
But
80s,
that was my point with the editor and the editor-in-chief.
the thing is, in the 70s and in the 80s, you had creators in the mainstream American comic and superheroes that brought these themes and these topics into the story.
Yeah.
And Nocenti is probably, certainly Marvel was, in my opinion, the flag bearer of it. Because she brought a lot of things into the stories. Now, the Daredevil run is not so much about Daredevil. It's a critique about social events, political events, and many other things happening in the world then, and they're still relevant now. Because you can reread that run, and you can see the parallelisms.
Well,
what's happening, which is sad. Those problems were there, and they're still on here.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing. But yeah, she had a she was a journalist prior to be an editor, an assistant editor in Marvel, and then she became a comic book writer. So her background is journalism, and I think she also was a teacher. And she brought the attention to, because I remember in the Devil Run especially, the big Devil Run, because he did for a few years did the Devil with John Romita Jr. as the main. In there, she touches things from the abuse of weapons, children abuse, animal abuse, political different views, corruption,
all themes that she still manages to touch on within the scenes as well.
Yes. So yeah, the role of the editor at that time, as you're saying, it was to try to keep it balanced.
Was balanced, rather than.
I'm not sure if in the end she said, well, you know what, I need to move forward, I need to leave, or Marvel said, you know what, we had enough. But certainly the Undertale to me was quite interesting. It was quite eye-opening because you were not just reading a superhero comic. There was, there is a story about Daredevil there, but to me that's not the main character.
Yeah.
It's more the people in the background.
Yeah, it's funny
in
you
a
say
typical superhero comic, they are not important. It's just, those were the characters that she brought your attention to it.
I first knew of her she actually made a guest appearance in this issue of the Hulk. They did something called Assistant Editors Month,
Mhm.
and every issue that month was slightly daft or a wee bit different. And there it is. Bruce Banner goes and visits Anne Nocenti at the office of Marvel, and they have this big discussion. That's how when she really became, oh, Anne Nocenti's this person, you know. So, but then this wasn't written by her.
No.
I don't think. No.
Bill Mantlo.
Bill Mantlow's credited. Funnily enough, it's once the story gets going. It's actually a good issue. It's General
Ross.
General Ross. I was thinking Glenn Talbot. No. He's going over the history of the Hulk from his point of view. So those kind of stories are always quite good fun. So that was a notable one for Anne Nocenti. There she is. Yeah.
Thanks.
And then she was an editor, but she would do fill-ins and things, and she did a really good Star Wars one as well.
Mm.
And that was all about Luke. Brett Blevins on the art.
I like your wee warning it's got on the cover here.
Yeah.
Warning, surgeons have generally determined that Assistant Editors Month is dangerous to your health.
Yeah. Every issue that month of Marvel Comics had a silly or a different thing going on. But that's another good one. Anne Nocenti writing that, or Anne Nocenti. Long Shot you mentioned, that was a great series. That's when she really was like, okay, there was no doubt in it now.
I've
She
never
was
heard of Long
brilliant.
Shot. What is it? What's
6 issue series. It was kind of the big splash for Art Adams as well, drawing it.
Right.
And
It
it's
was
just a great. You've got a
Yeah.
good
But-
collection of it there.
Because Longshot was a new thing for. I mean,
A new
you
character.
had it was a new writer, it was a new artist, and it was a new character.
Mhm.
So you had there a big risk.
So Long Shot was the name of the character.
Yeah, and the name of the series. 6
And-
issues.
Yeah, and it was edited
And her writing
by.
is really.
Yeah, there is.
Do you know, I've related her before to being a bit like Jack Kirby because of the imagination and because the dialogue's a wee bit off, like Kirby's. It reminds me of it's not quite realistic dialogue.
Yeah, we've mentioned that.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah, and Long
When-
Shot is when I really
When
saw the connection.
when I read Longshot for the first time, the dialogues was one because it was a little bit. There was something quirky in it,
Yeah, yeah.
and something that you didn't read
Mm-hmm.
at that time in superhero comics.
Yeah,
And then the art from Art Adams, again, at that time that was his first
yeah.
big job in Marvel,
Yeah.
and then there was something there that was all the detail, the background that he put in it, all little things added to it. It was fantastic. It was amazing. And I mean, even if you look into, you can go into like Rita
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Yeah, you can say, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you could say that Art Adams kind of based the appearance of Rita Ricochet on Nocenti
Yeah, yeah.
once you've seen the photographs.
That's right.
So, but yeah, that's a really good fantasy superhero
That is a good one.
graphic
Never
novel.
heard of it. So this
was
is
really,
the
really
collected
good, yeah. And
edition.
it was so different when it came out.
Mhm.
I think it was a comic ahead of its time from that point of view. And certainly for Marvel, you didn't expect something like that. And it was refreshing. It will make you think about it. You will go back and read it again, and then
So has it never been
And then you
done
look at-
since? Has it never been rebooted or taken?
Yeah.
I think that they've done some limited series and things like that. That was a limited series, the Jesus. But they've done other things, but it's never been as good as that.
No.
Never.
Guionista.
And the way it ends is it sets up for
Yeah.
it continuing, and it never did. But it's beautifully done.
Because I think
Yeah.
the closest continuation you get to that is in Excalibur. It was Chris Claremont. I think it was a Prestige or an annual with Art Adams,
Mm-hmm.
where
Yeah.
Mojo appears again. and
Yes.
I think it was quite groundbreaking at that time, from that point of view.
They were going to do another series, did you know? I've got a Marvel Age, and it's an interview with Art Adams, I think, and he's talking about their plans for the next series of Longshot. And there's like, Thor was in it or something? There was, there was some discussion, but they never got around to doing it.
No. And then they end up the Asgardian Wars
Oh yeah.
and the book with Excalibur. I think that's how we end up the whole thing project. It's split into, which art analysis is all the art, but the writer was different at that
Yeah.
time.
So
So Chris
it's not
Claremont.
really valid then, is it?
So it wasn't really a long shot.
No.
A long shot that Pete
He's in it. Well, they
joined the X-Men
put, yeah,
after
they put him in
that.
the X-Men, yeah.
After that.
This is another one that I picked up, which was Marvel Fanfare. You know, a lot of the time this was just dregs of whatever they had in the drawers or whatever. This one's a bit the worse for wear here. It's a wear up. But it was. I remember looking through this, and it's Anne Nocenti and Dave Mazzucchelli now. I thought that'll do.
Beautiful.
And it's very nicely drawn, of course, and the story is lovely. It's this woman. She finds the angel. And it's all from her point of view that, you know, an angel has crashed into her back garden, you know, and how she deals with it, you know. And it's just really nice. Yeah, this was like bargain bin stuff, you know, 20 pence or something.
That is Dave Mazzucchelli.
That should have been in a book.
Which, funnily enough,
Lovely.
when you look into David Aja's
yeah,
style and art,
yes,
it's reminiscent to
absolutely.
Dave Mazzucchelli
There really is
art and line.
Yeah,
There is,
a big.
I don't know if it was an influence on him certainly, but that's one of the things he reminds you
Yes, he does.
of Dave
That's the first
Mazzucchelli.
thing I thought when I saw Hawkeye, you know.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
just
oh, it's-
immediately. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's like Mazzucchelli, year one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a lovely little one-off. And then she did this Web of Spider-Man as well. This was a good one.
Ah, yeah.
She did so much in the 80s, and she was somebody that I always would look, and if she'd written it, I'm getting it, you know.
I've read that.
You've read this, and this
Yeah.
was with Cindy Martin, who was doing Star Wars late in the day.
That came into. I took it out of Arbroath.
Yes, you
it came
did.
in a
yes.
collection in the book.
I did.
I got into our both.
Yes, you did.
Yes, that's right.
I took it, and I thought, that'll do. Thank you.
Was Marvel Fanfare monthly,
Yeah.
or was it right?
Yeah, and it was unusual about having that glossy paper all the way through at the time.
That was
I
a
mean,
comic
that's-
sold
that was
directly
all
to
the,
comic book
all the
shops.
comics were the old newsprint at that
Yeah.
time, so this was like a big deal. You know.
So that was directly sold to comic book shops
But a lot of times they just
instead of just
they're
New
still
Agent
rubbish
supermarkets.
stories, you know.
Oh,
So
right.
there was a better quality paper.
Yeah.
It was a little more expensive, and were stories that separate from the main
Yeah,
series,
just-
perhaps.
Nice.
But when you look through the series, there are few bits and bobs that are actually very nice.
Yeah.
It's still going or not?
No, it's
No.
nice.
But I have
You know-
a few of them, and they are really nice.
And let's see. Yeah, the last thing I've brought from the actually, I think this is 1990. Actually, we're just into them, if I remember correctly.
With Red Bones again.
New Mutants special. It was, yeah.
Anyone want
Right,
the
Levin's
Marvel
gone.
Fanfare?
Have a wee look in it.
What was that called? Something about Megalopolis or something. What's the name
This
of
is
it?
like a mutant.
I mean, the Megalopolis.
Yeah, you are done. It's all there. So this is all about the media and TV and they go into this land that's like video land, and it's all about the. She was always really interested in like the media's effect on people and all that as well.
Yeah,
And she
she
still
still
is.
is.
She
She
still
still
is,
is.
and that came up in the seeds as we'll see. But it's funny because the technology is different now.
Yeah.
So looking back on something like this, it's all about TV manipulating you. Now we're onto the new social medias and everything. So that was another one, and then but then there was a point quite quickly where you getting into the 90s, you turned around and went, "Where's Anne Nocenti?"
You kind of disappear from
She
the
was
landscape.
nowhere. I was like, "What's going on?" Because she was like, I was always looking out
In
for her.
Marvel, yeah.
Yeah,
In Marvel, she was there.
and then I think she was out of the comics for like 10 plus years or something.
Did she become a mother or something?
No, she left to do other work. You know, I think they get fed up with like not getting any money, coming up with all this stuff.
Right.
So they go and get a job somewhere else. And she did the High Times. She was the editor of the High Times. And I guess she was a human being, eh? She went and got other interests and
Well, she's
got
she
involved
was a
in political
journalist,
causes and things.
political courses, she's
Teaching.
been a teacher,
Yeah,
she's been
yeah.
a filmmaker, she's
Yeah,
done,
yeah,
she's done lots of things. So,
interesting person.
Oh, this looks funny.
Are you ever interested in that?
Is it good? This? Is it good?
Yeah, yeah, it's wild, man. It's
Can I
crazy.
read?
Yeah.
Can I read it? Can
Yeah.
I put it?
Yeah.
Right.
And the
Yeah, stick
interesting
it
thing
in.
is,
Stick it in the bag.
Yeah.
and you look into the Vitaja, because you would think, oh, how did they came together to work?
Aha.
Aha! But David Aja actually started as an illustrator in Spain, not in comics.
Alright.
As an illustrator for books, for magazines,
Yeah.
and video games.
Mm.
And it worked in many toys in Spain, doing lots of big things and magazines there.
Right.
And it was in 2004, 2005. That's his first work with Marvel. And he did some odds, little stories, and odd issue here and there. And then he got Immortal Iron Fist.
Right.
And he was one of the artists in Iron Fist there.
And he took off then.
And from there, he became more popular.
I must say, I hadn't come across. Not that I was aware of that I've come across it, but yeah,
He hasn't done lots and lots of comics.
I liked the.
He hasn't
I
done lots and
really, I
lots.
like
but
the art.
Even
That's a nice picture.
Is there at the beginning of Immortal? Even when he did Immortal Iron Fist, he didn't do very much comics. So he did that, and then he worked with Nocenti in a little short story in Daredevil issue 500.
Yeah.
It was a special where they got different writers and artists
Right.
working, and he did a little thing with Nocenti there. So quite interesting. And then he did
Cheers, man.
with Berger Books the Hawkeye,
Yes.
Right.
which is
Big hit.
you have to read because it's just fantastic. And it's a fantastic comic, and you're surprised that Marvel was publishing that comic at that time. It was the best comic published. And the issues took months to come out because Aja is a slow artist. And other artists filled in, that's when he did other things. But it's a collection that is well worth to.
So when was that? When did he do that?
Hawkeye. When was that? So you'll be looking into when he started 2000 and I want to say 2012, but
roughly, yeah.
11, 12.
Yeah, 2012.
It don't really.
It finished 2016, didn't
It
it?
took a while, yeah.
So yeah.
Because that's the period he did Immortal Iron Fist.
In between.
He finished Immortal Iron Fist and then started Hawkeye.
Oh, no, right, okay. I thought, oh, yeah.
Did you like Hawkeye before you read that? Because I must say Hawkeye, I'm neither here nor there with Hawkeye.
Yeah, I like Hawkeye before that, but it's not the Hawkeye you know,
Right.
if you know what I mean. It's a completely different look into it.
Right.
Their run was
It's really, really
it's
good.
just
I mean, Aja won when he was doing Hawkeye. If I'm correct, he won four Eisner's awards and 1 Eagle Award. Like new artist, best cover, best short story. You know, he win lots of things, got lots of awards
Nice.
in that sort of run. So at that period, and then he's done some bits and bobs and some covers, and we haven't heard since Hawkeye. We haven't seen anything else, and then suddenly that came. Karen Berger, Berger Books. Karen Berger is the editor, and then you
right,
have
I remember the Hawkeye.
and Nocenti and David Aja. I mean, that's amazing.
So that's him.
That's him.
Oh, it's a bit different. It's kind of nice. I'd say the Seeds is less polished. That seems quite a
Well,
bit more finished and polished.
it's monochrome color there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's right. There's less.
I mean, the line seems more definite, more. I don't know. I like monochrome, but I didn't like this monochrome.
Right.
I tried to like it
Mm-hmm.
as I went through it, but I didn't. But it didn't put me off the art because the art's fucking brilliant and the light.
He obviously uses photos, eh? I mean,
Yeah, it looks kind
As
of.
a reference.
I
Yeah.
would be very interested in his process because a lot of them are really,
It's
there's
extreme.
photo-
Yeah, it's extremely well
yeah.
He has a, because he has
set
a
out.
he has a different background. He didn't start in comics, I
Yeah.
think, because he's an illustrator, and the
That's how we can do stuff like that.
illustrators and things. The illustration that he used to do was covers for books, for science magazines, for maybe illustrations inside for could be a cinema magazine, could be political newspapers,
Yeah,
all little illustrators and adverts.
Yeah.
He did lots of that.
He doesn't have
so he's
really
quite.
forced perspectives going on. There's no like, it's all like it's a photo.
Yeah,
It's not curvy,
No.
in your
No.
face,
no.
and the leg is a
It's-
mile away.
Yeah.
The leg's doing something like that underneath.
And the
He's
boom.
very sequential.
Yeah.
Did you follow? He's very good on that
Yeah, it creates the mood, doesn't it?
and creates the mood.
I think it does.
Yeah, no,
I
that's.
thought it was good.
I like the
No,
art.
I didn't.
The art was. Yeah, the art was nice. Did
I'm
you like
really
the art?
interested to see
Yes.
Did you
what
read
it
this?
does.
Tom,
I read
you
it.
look at
Yeah.
me like you want
Did
to
you
ask
like
something.
it?
Say something.
Have you read
I,
these? Have you read
Got-
the Scarlet Witch, the one he did the covers for?
Which? Sorry,
The Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
the Scarlet Witch. No, I have not.
No, he did all the covers for that, didn't he?
He did covers for Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Yes.
He never did the interiors, just the covers.
No, as far as I'm aware, just the
Just
covers.
covers, yeah. You haven't read that though?
No, I haven't.
No, I still haven't got around to that either.
I haven't had a chance.
I always see them coming up because, as far as I can tell, he's very proud of them.
Yes.
Very, very proud of them. Quite rightly so.
But you look at the covers and things like that, and he comes.
I'm
as
sure.
a-
Did he not win an award for them as well?
could be.
The covers for.
Yeah.
for them?
He won. I'm pretty sure he won about 4 Eisner's awards
Yeah, overall.
overall and 1 Eagle. So
That's
he did. Or a Harvey Award. I can't remember. Was it 4 or 5 awards in a series
Yeah.
of few years? Because for different things. So
That's
he did very
impressive, but he didn't get runner-up prize in the Dundee comic prize, did he? Come on, I'm just saying.
You've got a point.
Second
well.
prize.
He got a point there, yeah.
You have got
Okay.
a point.
Don't get too big-headed, David.
Maybe the hat.
It's only room for one David
Calmate.
here.
Calmate.
Calma.
Ah.
So-
Calmate.
So what were your
So-
thoughts, Dave? You said you liked it.
Yeah. They've watched my thoughts and I've just put...
Oh, get on the mic. He's got a full gob.
Mike.
Oh, Mike's got a full gob.
No.
Hi, Giuseppe.
I've said it. Yeah, I like.
Yes.
Well, art-wise,
Mm-hmm.
Content wise.
Contract-wise,
What about content? What about
I
the
like-
story? The
I
thing?
got into the story.
yeah.
I was wondering. There was one. Yeah, when they started talking, do you know what? It was very. We're just in the world and getting little snippets as clues.
Yep.
As to what was going on, and then it took all the way to. Somebody started discussing. Yeah, when she went to meet the editor.
Yeah.
And then they started discussing.
Yeah.
Like, we're buried in tech on this side, in the zone they have none. So they started
Explaining what's
getting
happening.
more explanation of the kind of setup. And I thought that was effective, that was good.
Yeah, that was your exposition point.
Yeah, that was
their
fine.
conversation.
That was okay, I thought. And then there was even a bit where, well, what was it? It was about the aliens. Yeah, remember the UFO sightings in the 50s?
Oh, the ones over Washington. I know what they're referring to. Have you seen
Yeah.
that footage?
No.
Have you never
Yeah.
seen that footage
Yeah.
of shit being fired above the White House in 1952?
No.
Oh man, you want to see that? It's doing nothing. It's getting fired at, and nothing is happening to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've
Yeah,
heard, I don't
David.
think I've seen it, but I've heard that.
Have you seen it?
It's
No,
quite
I've not
interesting.
seen it.
Oh
UFOs.
man, it's like you're like, what is it? But you know, if you look at the papers, it was like, yeah, UFOs over at White House, try to fire them down. We couldn't.
Yeah. I do.
But there's
remember
video
that.
footage of it. But yeah, I'm more inclined to believe now that it was secret military.
Well, that was
program.
the thing when they
Yeah.
say here they leaked a fake top secret report about UFO sightings to UFO conspiracy nuts who
Yeah.
gobbled it up. And I thought, I hope that's not, because I'm sort of interested in UFOs and flying saucers. Well, I was back in the day anyway. But I find that whole thing interesting, and what I hoped when I read that was, I hope that's not them just writing off UFOs. I thought, I hope that leads on to something later on.
Right, yeah.
So that's what I was hoping. And before we even got up with the issue, there was the alien guy at the end. I thought, good. It was a setup for the alien. So that I liked as well. I thought, okay, it's an aliens kind of story. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't know anything about this apart from it's called The Seeds and who did it. I didn't know what it was about.
No.
I
Don't really know.
So
I
much about it
purposely
now after
not
read it.
read anything
Yeah.
about it. I only saw like this illustration, and I think was this,
Like a couple of pages.
opening pages,
this one,
Yeah.
and that's it. And I thought, right, okay, I want to wait, and I haven't read anything regarding the matter because I wanted just to read the comic, and I have immersed myself. I read it once, then twice, and then a third time browsed through and took notes
Oh,
because there's and the more you go into it, there's
the more
certainly the way I see it,
you
the
see.
more details, the more things come out, and the work there is outstanding. And certainly I went through a few notes there, so see if you agree or not with me or not.
One thing that was just glaring that I didn't enjoy at all was that they just seemed to kind of almost glorify smoking throughout the whole thing. It was like, she looks cool whilst they're smoking. I hate that. I'm not a fan. I'm not. It seems to be a thing just now. They seem to be trying to bring back smoking into media.
Yeah, you're right enough.
It seems to be like everything these days. TV shows, films, everything. They all seem to be. It's set in an era so that they can have them all smoking again indoors and everything. And they're just like we were kind of moving past that, and now that it's coming back again, I'm noticing it because they were moving past it and they were taking it out of cinema and books and everything. That now that they suddenly brought it back, as if like no, we'll put it in again. The characters are all smoking. I'm really noticing it, big time, and it just put me off. Like I don't know.
I noticed that.
I'm just
it
not a
was
fan when
a
people
bit in there, but
like I get it if they want to show a character having a fag or whatever. Yeah, fine. But like, it was right in. This person's having a draw here and then she's smoking and all the expositions on the page with the smoking on the go, so you see it, and she's really she looks like she's really enjoying it. Just not my bag at all. Not my bag at all.
Maybe something will come of that.
That
maybe not.
That really put me off.
okay.
It might have something to do with it. It
Yeah.
might be that they're just focusing on it because there's something there.
I never even
But
noticed
it
it.
just really bugged me.
Yeah.
Really bugged me.
I noticed it because you
Right.
don't, as you say, you don't see nowadays.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's
But then on the other hand, we don't see it in films, we don't see it in TV.
But they have been. That's the
But
thing.
then people smoke, so it's like
Yeah. Oh no, I get it. But
so it's an element to make it to ground the story.
yeah, but it's almost.
I don't know.
It's almost like glorifying it. It's not just like they're having a cig in the background or
Yeah.
whatever. It is like that is close up pictures of their
Yeah.
face whilst they're
Yeah.
enjoying a cigarette, which just.
And yet the
It's no
aliens
need.
are wearing breathing masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have some. Like I say, it
Yeah.
might have some hidden meaning or something. And within.
Well, there was.
I mean, this is only the first issue.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
what we noticed, and it says on the back, 1 of 4.
It could be that I thought they did a good job of doing things and not explaining them in a way.
Yes.
And it was telling you that technologies become all encompassing in ways we don't even understand while they're using it.
Mhm.
Like she walked up there and started talking just to nobody. User, Astra, action, send files and upload, and it's like processing that. So we don't even understand what she's doing. We've got a vague idea that you can just walk around. And
And just upload it to the
things.
cloud, or
But then these
transfer.
birds that were talking,
Yeah.
alert, stay safe.
But other birds.
I don't know. So
That's
there
the
you
thing.
go.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing. That's something that
So-
it might mean something else later
Setting
on.
up that as a mystery, it's possible the cigarettes could be part
And
of
then
the
we
wider
see more
thing.
birds. We see
Maybe,
more birds.
maybe not.
The birds,
Yeah.
again,
They
the same.
talk all the way through.
And they look like they've been spying.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
there's lots of things. There's few things I think that are there. And
Paranoia.
I think the hive, perhaps, is that
Well, that's an
Oh, yeah.
interesting
A
thing.
reference to
There's an interesting thing on that.
everyone that's on social media is in a hive mind,
Yeah, the hive mind.
literally.
This,
Okay,
the
yeah,
hexagon repeats. So you go in the cover,
Mhm.
and it's a maze.
Yeah.
Have you tried to go to the B and come out?
It doesn't.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
ends up
yes,
out
yes.
there.
You can go in and out. Yes, you can.
Yeah, it goes out there, doesn't it?
Have you noticed what's on the bee?
You just cut. Oh,
You know what's
Eyes.
on the B.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Alien.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well spotted.
I like how they did that there as a seed. And then at the back, it's the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got to say, before I forget, besides the art being great,
Mm-hmm.
it is nice to have a fucking comic like that, just from front to back with nothing
yeah.
else in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing else
Pure
except the
comic.
story, and that
All
is
of it.
it.
It's a great book.
26. No,
Yeah, it's a good
28
solid
pages.
set of
Chunky.
Yeah, there's no adverse.
It's funny that there was bees and hives and stuff like that because, I don't know if you're aware, but on the logo of MI6, no, an old logo of MI6 from the 70s and 80s, they used to have a bee on it and a hive because of the kind of the hive.
The Hive Mind Collective.
The Hive Mind
Yeah.
Collective. So I'm wondering if that is a reference to the hive mind of social media being
be, yeah.
in
Well,
a
that's interesting
massive.
saying that because
Yeah, possibly.
Is that one of you?
well, I don't know. There's a few things I want to
Right.
because I come across
Mhm.
because I was saying, yeah, we got this. So we think it's a dying world, it's pollution, and there's a split society, and there's a wall, and part of the society has left
Yeah, there
the
was
technological world.
there
and
was
it
an
has become kind of
anti-tech.
alive.
Didn't they mention the
Anti-tech.
anti-tech revolution?
yeah.
Didn't
And
they?
then- And then they go to the other side of the wall,
Yeah.
kind of neo-Luddites sort of idea.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world stays behind. But there's families split and friends, and we don't know
Mm.
what has happened to them.
Mm.
No one has come back. No one has told.
Yeah, they were saying there seemed to be a thread through it of like once they go over that side, they never come back, sort of thing. They just disappear.
Also, they have
yeah.
been told.
Yeah, so
That's
they've
the
been
thing.
told. Because it was like, was there not a bit at the start? It said
It'd be like
something
Brave
once-
New World where it's like, oh yeah, don't go there, they're all savages. But then
No.
they go out
No.
there and actually they're free and happy.
So
It
that's
could
the
be
thing.
one of them. It could be one of them scenarios, couldn't it?
So yeah, it's an
Or
interesting
what?
thing
Or
because
the dinner.
Or the dinner.
Yeah, it was like I said she didn't leave me. She left this shitty world, going blind. She was, but it's like he's speaking to the wall as if she was, she went over like his partner or whatever
Yeah.
went over and she's just not come back.
I like the hexagon thing because I was saying you were saying the hexagon and they give the cover, and then you go on the first page.
Yeah.
And then you're focused in, and it's the composite eye of the bee, and we're focusing out. And then once we see the bee in full, then we're focusing in again into the hive,
Yeah.
and then you turn the page, and the hexagon repeats in the camera, and then you look on the other page, and the hexagon is in the fence.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the following chapter, chapter 2, Lola has the hexagon tattoo, several hexagons
Yeah.
tattoo in one on her arm. And
Oh,
her
aye,
arms.
yeah, well spotted, yeah.
And so it repeats, the hexagon is there in a lot of things. And at the very end, you also see it in the dot in the screen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing, and it's 6 chapters in the book, 6
Four.
sides.
Oh, yeah, 6 chapters, yeah, in
Mhm.
the book, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to make, okay, can I make an hexagon of, and so I was putting, okay, so we got the Luddites and the rest of the world that's remaining with technology. You got Astra and her editor, Gabrielle, and you got Lola, and you got Reyes, the alien. So, because you're going back and forth with all these characters. Certainly with Astra and with Gabrielle, the editor. Maybe I'm looking too deep, I don't know, but I noticed things as I was reading.
Are we,
For
sure
example-
are we sure they're alien then? I know that they're made
Yeah.
to look it and they got their
I'm
mask
not
on,
sure
but
about
did they? Right,
I'm not
yeah.
sure anything, but that's so far what I gather. But it was interesting when I go into chapter 3 in the bullpen, when he goes and meets the editor. That's when you see, that's when you know more about Astra and you think, right, so she wants to, she has principles, she wants to find out more, she's seeking the truth.
Yeah.
Whereas the editor is kind of, well, we need to sell here, we need to make money.
Yep.
So we're talking about,
That one.
so completely opposites,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the two sides of the same coin, really.
Mhm.
And then that was in this page. I thought this is fantastic. The page composition. We go Astra and Gabrielle. Now you pay attention. Astra is white with dark hair. Gabrielle is black with white hair to reinforce the opposites. And then you look these two panels. How mirror. And then you look these two panels, how they mirror. And if you look through the comic, as you go through the pages, there's a lot of work. It doesn't seem to be, but there is something there
Okay.
in the panel work, how the images are portrayed. There's something very delicate and carefully planned. This doesn't happen just like that.
Yeah.
In page 3, when Astra is taking photographs, so you get photo, Astra, photo, they are watching, photo, Astra being watched, photo, Astra, photo, and you get the photos that way. She's taking a photo, she's not taking a photo, they are watching her, again the opposites,
Yeah.
constant coming back and forth. So the structure and these sort of elements and tools is what we've seen in Watchmen many times, going to focus on the duality, how, to me, Davida did incredible work, and Nocenti as well probably. I don't know exactly how did they work.
I was going to say, but even with what he says at the bottom of that page, he says she left me, she didn't leave me. It's like it's the total opposites, but within the same sentence.
Yes, there's a lot of this in the comic. There's a lot of duality of but the opposites and how they are comparing two sides. And like in here, when in chapter 2, Lola and Race, and I think Lola says something like, "Do you want my number or not?" And he says, "I don't have one of those. They don't work where I'm going. You're crossing over." And he doesn't say anything, and she says, "Good luck with that." So she thinks he's crossing over the wall, but actually that's not the case necessarily.
Yeah.
Because then later we find out he's an alien.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly he's an alien.
Well, yeah.
But there's lots of details as you're going through, and again, you get eyes closed, eyes open.
Yeah, I noticed
There's
that
a-
on that page more than
on the
anything.
Panels, and then there's a lot of things like details like that. I like this as well. Astra goes back to her apartment, and we see a little more of her personal life. And without being forced, and you pay attention to the details, there's a photograph of Astra and another girl. That was probably her partner, her couple. But no one goes to greet her. 2 toothbrushes in the glass. And
One in the bin.
she puts one in the bin. So obviously she's not with her partner's not with her, and her partner's not with her anymore. Even the killing with her heart. It's the kind of things that as a couple you might have. And then looking through again we got she's searching in the fridge. Again we got the sort of opposites. The fridge is empty. The empty bottle. And then she decides to get the phone. You know what? I'll do the clickbait story for the Gabriel, the editor, but then I want to go through the wall.
Yeah.
My story. So there's lots of these things, and so the structure, the panel, and although the basic is a 9-panel grid, and in some occasions he changes to give a bigger line. There is a reason behind. There is a design. There is it's part of the story. It's part of how to tell the story. How to deliver little pieces of information without being forced, without going very spectacular.
Yeah.
So that's just things that I kind of looking through it, and I thought the way the story is told is kind of, well, the way I say, it kind of meanders through different things, but very slowly you start to picking up pieces of information and building up certain threads and certain tension to a very light, and everything is starting to connect with the art and the words, and every beat from the dialogues are important. Some of them seem a wee bit, maybe this means something else there, but we're waiting for more. Like the birds talking there, there's information there. What they're meaning? Who are they? Are they birds?
Yeah.
Are there something else? You know.
I never picked up on that until you pointed out.
And yeah, I thought it was very much sequential art rather than a traditional comic book. How they flow, it was very much, there was a lot of little, like, photographs even in some places. That's how it felt. I think there's a lot of method in it, very methodical, it's a slow pace, but at the same time, with different tools, it's talking about many things. It's talking about splitting society, it's talking about the end of the world, it's talking about UFOs, it's talking about pollution, it's talking about drugs, activism, technology dependence, stroke abuse. You're talking about journalism, you're talking about clickbait stories, talking about fake news.
Yeah.
It's a dystopian future,
But not
present.
So. Yeah, very much present.
Relevant to,
The drugs part was the thing that I picked up on it. It was almost like it was within the now. So I think everybody just ganging straight for I'll try this new drug because somebody's mentioned it.
Yeah, because it's a new drug that makes you feel how you die, your death, but you don't die with it. So it's kind of the ultimate risk-taking sort of thing.
Yep. It was the whole thing of like, it's just one person saying it. Nobody actually knows specifically what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned ketamine, and then there's a horse head in the bar.
I've seen people.
Jesus, I didn't even think of that.
I've seen people on ketamine and they look like they're on the fucking
that was it. Is
doorstep.
You read and reread it, and something else falls in, and you
in
go,
the bar,
"Oh, that's." And it's a book that you'll thank, and a book you can come back and read it again and look into the panels carefully, and suddenly you discover something else. And the panels, how they are, tell something, and the words and the beats on the dialogue, they are connected to it. So the panels are not just a layout; they are part of the narrative. They are part of the how the story flows and how it connects.
Yeah.
So that's the way I see it.
Nando, I'm going to keep reading this, but just on the basis that you have to come and explain it every time.
What?
You've given me a whole new perspective on it that I didn't have.
Well, I don't know if I went too deep to this, but I read it, and I thought this needs to be read again, and not because I didn't understand the story, but because there's more to it.
Yeah. The reason I brought, there was loads of different daredevils, but the reason this one had Rock got, and he spends all the time talking about all the germs and everything, and it reminded me, there's that kind of talk in this. I saw the link that she's still writing about that kind of thing, Talks about the money is filthy, and it's all these. So I thought,
that's kind of a funny metaphor, though, isn't it? A double meaning.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. But right away, actually, that her job staring at the screens plugged in all day, I thought this is like comment on society.
Kid's toy.
The thing that gets me though is who's the person in the wheelchair? Is that a person?
That's
or is that
Lola.
That's
Lola. That's the girl with the.
Is it? Why is she in a wheelchair?
Because she's either disabled or she's ill. Because she uses crutches.
Yes.
And the chapter 2
How have I not spotted this?
Huh?
Oh, was that Lola?
That was something.
Yeah.
That was something that got out of bed. And
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the crutches there. Yeah.
Hello.
And she's sitting in the wheelchair at the.
And
Yeah, and
sitting
then
in-
she's with her friends in a
Yeah.
wheelchair.
She was
And,
sitting in
and
the
rest
toilet
are-
earlier.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
not everyone that's in a wheelchair actually cannot move.
That's right. They can still walk up with you.
That's usually the
No,
crutches.
no, I meant it's an unusual thing to portray someone sitting in the toilet.
That's what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
Oh my
we don't know if
God.
it's disabled or she's ill or something has happened to her. We don't know. But certainly,
Oh yeah. Fucking hell.
Oh yeah, I've just seen them here as well. I didn't notice the wheels here.
yeah.
This comic is
In the
full of
cover.
stuff you can miss.
Yes, and just you read it and
just-
you could and you read it again.
really
There's
is.
more and gives you more.
I just,
Every time you read it, gives you more.
It's funny that some of them are wearing gas masks and some of them aren't. So it's obviously like it's up to you if you want to do that. Or
I
not.
think it's because they're within a different.
There's a wee kid sat there with a gas
Yeah,
mask on,
and the rest of people
they're
don't.
not.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe still your choice if you want to do that or not, depending on how paranoid you are or whatever.
So yeah,
Maybe
it's
you-
just there's more and more details always.
Yeah, but they're still wearing.
It
They're
always
still
thanks
wearing,
you to like this.
they're still wearing
like you were-
suits
yeah.
that have got like filtration systems. It's not. It's not
The wheelchair.
a gas mask, but it's a biohazard suit
Yeah.
and an astronaut's helmet.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's still filtration.
Right, so
So it might not explicitly be gas mask, but it's still something.
Yeah.
To aid breathing,
yes.
the outfits. So it's probably just a case of what they could grab.
He always it's a comic that you read it and you read it
Yeah.
and you're looking at the
But
art
it's-
and you're looking at
Half
it.
of it's in black and shadow.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So yes, there's lots of stuff. I enjoyed that very very much.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it
Reading
more.
it.
This is I
So,
want to read the others. I mean
Yeah.
this.
but is death? So
Yeah.
death's a club and a drug. Then, what's the deal? Or
It's
Is-
it's a club that deals primarily in taking death within it. So I think it's Death the Club where you get Death the drug.
right.
That's what I picked up anyway from the way they were speaking.
That
So
sounds
it'd be,
alright,
it'd be
but-
like the case of going to the Ket Club where all you got was Ket. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
You know,
I
you
was really
read, you
dumb.
know, you read through a comic and you're like, do I like this or not? You're
And
going
then
through and
Bam.
you're waiting on
And
something
there's
getting
the
you.
moment. The moment.
Yeah, and then when it went poof, it was like, oh.
I don't know why, but the first
And then
time
once
I-
you know that, then
Yeah.
you go back to chapter
Yeah,
2.
see,
and
because
then,
I was worried, as I said, about the UFO mention.
and
I
then you
thought,
go here, and then you look into the bullpen, and suddenly, so
I like
that's
the
what he
alien.
was meaning something else. And then
Mm.
you see the photographs. Because
Also, the alien isn't hiding. The alien's almost turning around going, hiya, take a photo of me.
yeah.
I misunderstood
Like
this because I thought this was just some guy accompanying someone in a
That's
wheelchair
Race.
down the alley.
That's Race and Lola.
Down the alley.
He could not be an alien, but a resident from the other side.
But
The
then
side
there's
that
a-
you
There's a
don't get to
conversation,
see.
isn't there, where when
But
the
he
aliens
is-
are
yeah,
talking, he says,
yeah.
Does she know what you are? And he goes,
And they
no.
collect seeds.
It seems
They
like
collect samples. They collect seed samples of life. That's what they do.
Did you not find what does that tattoo mean on her back? Did
Well,
you
I didn't
find
go
that?
into depth. No,
Yeah, good plan.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But it might mean something.
Which we'll find
I
out
bet
later. I
it
think.
definitely mean. It's just I don't think it'd be there.
Oh,
If
yeah,
it
it's bound
wouldn't.
to mean something.
If it's there and it's so clear, it might mean
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I really enjoy that.
Letters, logo,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
design.
David.
Does that mean he drew it or what?
He drew the logo, did the
Yeah, I think
design,
he
the
did
covers,
all of this. And
the letters,
Right.
everything.
But what about this?
Yeah, all of
Why
it.
don't you just say artist? Just artist.
Mm.
You see, I was reading that and I was like, letters, logo, and design. I don't see an artist here. I don't see some pencil or
Yeah,
anything.
They've kind of assumed that, haven't
But
they?
you see that
By
they go
Nocenti and
by
yeah,
Anno Nocenti and Davitaja.
They've just assumed that that covers it.
Yeah,
But it
but,
does-
So they may have
but
work
to me,
on-
that just means they're the creators.
Yeah,
And Nocenti not necessarily being known for being an artist.
but they are the creators of it. But then sometimes, in many occasions, the letterer, the colorist,
Because then I
The
saw
designer of the cover,
Art
the cover artists
director.
are different
No, no.
from.
because then I saw art
That's good.
director, and then I
Basically
saw
everything you spoke about.
digital art technician. Who's doing what here? No, I was curious. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
who's actually done? Who's fucking put pencil to paper or mouse to mouse pad and done it?
You've maybe got a point. That
It's-
they're deliberately being vague.
Right,
How it was done.
right.
Deliberately.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe there was no pencils.
Maybe there wasn't. Maybe it's
I mean,
complete
the whole look of
photography.
I'm
Yeah,
looking at it going, it's photos.
yeah.
Very photoistic, I nearly said that. It's very
Photorealistic.
photoistic.
It is though. Yeah, you've got a real good point. All the
So,
perspectives.
so if it doesn't say pencils by, maybe I'm
I think
pulling this out of my ass
I
now.
honestly
But-
think it's just digitally done, like
Yes.
Hawkeye. I think it's just
What
it's
does it
just
say on
it's
Hawkeye?
digitally done.
Does it say pencils by?
No, it says.
No, it doesn't. So there's the thing. I would really like to know what his process is.
It says.
Yeah, I would like to know as well. But it's a good artist.
What?
Because
Yeah.
that sketch of
It's
the
like-
It looks
It's
my
like
graphic
it's like-
novel.
If
in
it
a
is
moment, and
photos,
it was
it's like
wow.
it's like a well done viz, isn't it? If it is photos, it's just they've drawn over the photos rather than put speech bubbles on black and white.
Yeah.
photos.
It just says by
by. Yeah, so they're not explaining how he
color
does
art.
it. I'd like to see an interview or something where he talks about his work.
When issue 1 says artist,
Artist.
in the issue 1 of
Artist.
artist.
Oh, okay, good.
So
Matt Fraction, right
yeah.
there.
There's no doubt he
Sorry,
did it.
I
we
said
just don't
I
know
mentioned
how.
Brubaker earlier on. It's not Brubaker. It's actually Matt Fraction, and Brubaker in Iron Fist. So
Yeah.
but, yeah.
Is it? It's a Brubaker and Iron Fist. I thought it was Fraction and Iron Fist as well.
Brubaker, there's some
Did Fraction do like one half of it?
could be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was the whole reason they did Hawkeye was because the two of them came together
Yeah.
on Iron Fist.
Do you know what I've been watching now?
What?
Do you remember The Black Hole? With Maximilian. Walt Disney film.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
And it was
Is that the Black Cauldron?
The Black Hole.
Black Hole.
It's from 1979.
Oh, okay.
Round about the same time
I
as
went-
the Black Cauldron.
I went to see it when it came out, and I remembered that Maximilian, the big robot in it, was terrifying, and I remembered that the ending was weird as hell. And it was a podcast that were talking about it, and I thought, I've got such memories of this film that it was so weird, and I did the usual eBay £2 bang in the house. I sat and watched it the other night, and I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
And Maximilian was still, I don't know if you remember him. He was
Never seen it.
bloody terrifying. Should watch it.
I think
The
I
Black
remember
Hole.
the posters,
Yeah.
but I've never seen it.
Oh, it's so good. There's 3 robots, but there's 2 main ones. Maximilian is huge, terrifying, scary. He's going to kill you just if he feels like it. He never talks. You never get into what he thinks. He's just like dead. And then there's the little cute robot with the big googly eyes. He's the good robot, and he's Roddy McDowell, which I
Really?
didn't really realise. I didn't remember that. He started talking. I was like, God, Vincent's Roddy McDowell. But he is cool because Maximilian comes out. They're all scared, and he's like, dude, name a number. He gets right in Maximilian's face. He's like, I'm gonna like. He's like this size, and Maximilian's 4 times the size of him. I really enjoyed it. I'll tell you, I'd recommend to watch it. It's good fun.
I'm
It's like an hour and a
gonna
half.
make a note of that because I've never
Hour and a-
seen it, and
Yes.
I love a good 80s, 70s.
I'll bring it in and let you borrow it if you want. Although I've watched it twice in the last week. I had I saw my mum.
Is
and
it something that you watch with kids? Would the kids like
I'd
it
be a
or
bit
not?
worried about it because
Oh, right.
Maximilian.
Is
I remembered it being scary from back then when I was 7, but I couldn't really remember why. And I watched it, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
He is.
There's one scene where he's just like they're having a chat, and then he just turns his head, he's like, and it's like you can almost see him thinking, "No, I'm not having this," and he just flies down. It's about 4 seconds, kills the guy, and he flies away again. I mean, it's weird, isn't he?
Yeah, I know.
But good. Yeah. Apropos of nothing, thought I'd throw that in. The spaceship looks amazing.
And Giuseppe, you've been reading anything?
yeah,
recently?
I read that.
Oh, yeah.
which
The
was
Centrala book.
really
I remember
fucking
that.
amazing.
It's really nice, isn't it? It's a really, really nice one.
Absolutely loved it. And I was saying, I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's a tale that they tell kids from that area or not, but it was a completely new story to me.
What was it called again? I can't remember.
Forest
Beekeeper and the Treasure of Pushka
Pushka.
by Tomasz Samoyek. Yeah, fantastic. With some heart-stopping moments
Yeah.
through it. Have you read it? Oh,
It's a really nice book.
it's really nice.
Really
Loved
nice.
the artwork. I loved every single thing of it.
And it's an all ages book.
Yeah,
And
lots of interesting things. If you're not from there, to
learn.
to learn and
Yeah.
to dig deeper into other things. There's some nice notes at the back.
Because it's history, legends, tales,
fauna. Yeah, it's great. I really enjoyed that. So that was one thing. Really enjoyed it was one of the Centrala books that we got, wasn't it? And the other thing was this, which was a gift. Cheap Novelties, The Pleasure of Urban Decay, Ben Catchor. I'd never heard of him, but this is a reprint from
I've
book
got
from
the
the
old
90s.
Penguin
Right.
wee paperback one. Really
Yeah,
strange.
yeah, it was strange, but yeah, it took me about 3 or 4 pages to realise it wasn't a continuous strip. I was like, oh shit, every page is. That's why he's doing. That's why he's doing these
brain farts.
These funny little things. No, a brain fart would imply action. Something. A brain freeze just implies
frozen.
Time. That look. But yeah, after I realised, it's not a continuous story, I then reframed how I was reading it. But I've got to say, these little things in the corner I did enjoy. Basically, each strip is, he writes his name. He's a real estate photographer, which I thought was quite interesting as well. And he just does his name and real estate photographer on a different thing on every strip. I liked the artwork. Some of it was really poignant and meant a lot, and I understood what he was getting at, because it's about stuff that's long gone now.
Right.
That's maybe just forms part of the fabric of memory of a place, rather than actually a building being there anymore.
Okay.
So lots of it's set in New York, so lots of it, American drinks in bars. I don't know what they're on about, and like all the different pastries and soups and all that palaver. But some of them made a lot of sense. Some, I got to be honest, I didn't have a clue what he was getting at, and it went right over my head. But really, it was a really interesting and enjoyable read, and the ones that I did understand and get, I did really like. But yeah, if anyone wants to have a gander, that. And and then this week I read Sam Henderson's Humour Can Be Funny, which was brilliant. Loved it.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah. It's right up my street. Dave knew that straight away. And then he was like, yeah, he's definitely the kind of guy that'll like that. I mean, I think one of my favourite strips is YFA.
You fucking asshole.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah,
It's just really, really good. And I enjoyed
really
that.
like that Magic Whistle.
And that's been that's been it for comics and the seeds. That's it.
You read anything else in between times since the last time we met?
Yeah.
Pile. He has a pile of stuff.
First of all,
Larson.
last week I mentioned Gary
Yeah.
Larson, so I thought I'd bring in my very first book that I ever got of Gary Larson's. This is hilarious, and it's my sense of humour.
Was this
Look,
Born of
got me
Guilt?
addicted.
Was this Guilt from last week?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up Gary Larson to this
Poo-pooing Gary
podcast.
Larson.
I want a subheading at the bottom. Gary Larson's tribute.
I went to ECAF, Edinburgh Comics Art Festival, on Sunday. They had like a wee kind of just a bunch of people tabling, like independent artists and stuff, and tabling all their stuff in one of the halls as part of the book festival in Edinburgh. So I just picked up a couple of stuff. So it's basically just showing off my swag, to be honest. It's like after we've been to the con. So I got myself Wear Your Own comic strip from the Penguin series.
That's good.
So
That's
3
good.
different
Yeah.
badges.
Clever.
A wee gander. I went to Chris Baldy of Roll to One and Space Captain and got myself a wee Adventure Supplies tote bag. So that'll do me for going around the cons. Get a nice wee things. A couple of wee zines from Stephen Ingram, Platypi. They were quite good. They were nice wee things, but they're just kind of wee hand put together things. So really nice. And they came in a wee nice wee envelope as well. So a wee gander at them.
Nice swag.
Do you want it? It's just going because I've already got one. So picked up Bob's Inktober, where he did just one picture a day for the whole of October.
Yeah.
Nice little photos.
Okay, this
Yeah, look good. And he also gave away. He was giving away originals with it. So when you bought one, you got an original with it as well. So that is
Wow.
yeah. It was only like £3 or something, or £2 or something for that. Who's this again? Eve Greenwood. I picked up her hourly comic. I like to pick up artists' little hourly comics that they do, but her wee strips are quite nice. I quite enjoyed them. Picked up the Orb from Zoo. Did you buy that?
No.
No.
I was there when she did it.
No, she did it.
Yeah.
Right. That's maybe just because you've mentioned it then. I remembered this story. The new I Quit Comics, Hank, and that's another kind of thing of just a picture and some text. No panel work. Panel work seems to have just gone out the window now.
Mm-hmm.
Zoo seems to be one of the only ones that actually had to wear shit like that one.
Yeah.
But I think I've not read all of them yet. But I think one of my highlights from the ECAF was Dick Tucker, Drag Detective, which I didn't realise. Dick Tucker. Which I didn't realise that until well after. But that was actually really funny.
Let's go on explain this to you, Tom. So
I like the look of the art.
Yeah, it's lovely. Nice. And there's 3 of them, but I just picked up the first one. But it was really funny. Really, really funny. I liked it. Yeah, really enjoyed that.
I like the cover. It reminds me of old British comics with the colour, with the red.
Picked up a couple of things from LJ Walker. Not read them yet, and I picked up a wee sticker as well from an axolotl.
Cool.
Axolotls are cool little creatures, but they're kind of creepy.
Bizarrely, you can buy them in Dobby's Garden Centre.
Yeah.
Axolotl, it's a type of amphibian like a salamander, but they never reach the adult stage in their lives. They're always at the juvenile stage.
Newest one from Paul Tonner. I did have his Nom.
Cool.
I've got it upstairs, Nom. I think I've showed you guys that before, but he's done a new one called Death and the Bear, a fable. We look at that, and it's a wee print in the back as well. Yeah, the print's just that, which is lovely.
I'm looking for Dick, can't wait.
Got a couple of ones from Alan Henderson. He brought them along very kindly. Ones that are out of print now. So I'm waiting to read them as soon as I get them.
Nothing.
Sculpted, Threadbare, and
Our
our friends
Arachnid.
Arachnid. Always like the Green Goblin when he's fighting him. He goes, "Oh, you insipid arachnid!" That was stuck to me. I thought that was great. What an insult!
Insipid.
You insipid arachnid.
this was from Stephen Ingram. It's new. I should do.
This is nice, eh?
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, looks great.
The newest one from Stephen Ingram, Murmur, is just 2 stories, and I actually really enjoyed that majorly. It was weird. I didn't think it was going to be what it was, but yeah, it was really good. It's got an interesting front cover as well. It's actually 2 different covers because it's the cover to each story on either side. But it doesn't read like that. You can't. But it'd be hard to print if you could do that. Space Captain number 2, issue 2 from Chris Baldy. So I've still to read that. So as soon as I've read it, Nando, I'll pass it along.
Please.
I'm determined every time I see him now, I'm just going to pick up another one in the line because I think there's about 5 issues, and he's still continuing the story as well. Picked up the new one from Zoo as well, Spider Sans. She did a wee kind of thing on the inside as well.
I remember she was working on that as well.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, but I like it. She's doing big posters of that.
Yeah, she showed me that.
It was nice. It was really nice, but I only had so much money to spend.
Yeah,
I do like a Space Captain.
some.
And that was my haul from the con.
No, you did
Very
well.
good.
And actually, not really all that much, to be honest, at all. I took out like 50 quid and I only spent about just under 30 on all of that. This came from Colin Maxwell as well. This game is one of the Kickstarters. I funded his Kickstarter, Electromagnetic. I think there's stuff by Monty Nero in there as well, but it's kind of a steampunky kind of story. I've not really read it yet, but it was good. That came in the post the other day.
Speaking of B movies from bygone periods, someone mentioned in a podcast a film I'd never heard of called Dead End Drive. Have you seen it?
No.
From the 80s,
No.
where they drive into that. No. It's quite a. It's part of that 80s kind of dystopia thing. Dead End Drive. It's pretty good. I'd recommend that one. And I'm due to watch. I can't believe I've never watched it. Escape from New York.
Okay. Oh, watch that.
It's meant to be good, isn't it?
That's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I enjoyed that.
Network as well. I've downloaded from 19. You know that
I've never
film
seen
from
that, but
76.
that
That's
was
meant to be well good.
Well, thank you very
Well,
much, guys.
Yeah.
That was
Thank
good.
you. Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
No,
thanks
always.
for the comic.
God, yeah.
See you later.
See you again. Yeah, see you at work.
To send us any comments or questions or just to say hello, you can reach us by email at thatcomicsmell@gmail.com. We're also available on Instagram and Twitter at thatcomicsmell. Share the podcast with your friends and followers. We're available on YouTube, Soundcloud and iTunes. And don't forget to rate, review and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Our music is by Chart Smasher, aka John Adam. You can find John on Twitter at JohnEdam, and you can buy the track Dial Up on Bandcamp.